I think the biggest mistake is not doing psychological work and not realizing that you need to do psychological work. So let me explain what I mean by psychological work. Psychological work is what's reflected to us by our spouses and significant others, by our employees and teammates. It's what is reflected to us when someone gives us feedback, and instead we think we can just enter this state of presence and ignore the feedback. We don't actually see what's going on with me. Why do I feel triggered in this situation? Anytime we're triggered, there's some type of insight that's possible that we could have into what the roots are of that situation. So I've committed myself to the quality of my relationships with other people and getting feedback from people about those relationships. What I see a lot of people on the spiritual path do is if somebody gives them feedback in the relationship, they just make that person wrong. Well, they're not, whatever. And this is how we see so many people who are very evolved in one area, but actually not very evolved in some significant other areas of their life. And this is where I think we need to commit ourselves to doing our developmental work in every way. So also, just because you can be brilliant at resting in empty space does not make you brilliant at leading an organization. It doesn't. It would be good to get training in what it means to create a healthy margin in a business and not think that just because you're a great meditator, you're going to know how to do that. The skills don't translate into every field. And so I think part of it is when you become deeply immersed in this bliss of being, it's such an incredible feeling that you can kind of feel all powerful and all knowing. And what I would say is you're not. And no one is. And so you could call it, I said psychological work, you could call it your shadow work if you want. So that would be my first number one thing. Do your shadow work.